Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Uncanny Spirits Club. I'm trying to scan the bottle here. I've got um, to see what the price is, and it doesn't want to scan. That figures. Um, so I don't remember how much this is. I don't remember. Let me see if I can look it up. But what are we reviewing tonight? You may remember that I reviewed quite a while back a bottle of Irish whiskey called The Quiet Man. It was a blended Irish whiskey. It was decent. Um, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. It was nice and light. Um, oh, this is limited edition. I'm glad I know about this. I'm gonna have to get another. Um, if I can find what the price is, I think it's like it's 50 something. I think. No, no price available for the Quiet Man. Of course, search engines are absolutely useless. They're absolutely 100% useless these days. Minor rant. Um, find a bottle or learn more. Okay, here we go. Allow cookies because why not? Put on my birthday. So anyway, what am I reviewing? It's The Quiet Man. It's a new version, and apparently it's a limited edition. I'm trying to find the price for you, but it is the Barman's Code, and it's single malt rather than blended, which is what the Quiet Man was. The Quiet Man, the normal one, was blended, and this is finished in Marsala wine barrels, and it's also been aged for 10 years. So that's interesting. So I saw this and I thought, you know what, that's something that I'd like to try. Oh goodness. Their website is not great either. Barman's Code. I just want to find a price for it. Like, I just want to find a price. That's all I want to do. And they don't have the price here. I thought I had the receipt, and I think I got rid of the receipt. I think. But I think this is in the $40 to $50 range, give or take. I'll have to get back to you on that. But it's interesting in a number of ways. It's a nice cork pop. It's a organic rather than synthetic. I don't know what they're doing outside, but it's interesting because again, it's not blended. It's single malt, and it's aged for 10 years, and it's in the Marsala wine barrels. So I'm looking forward to it. And I didn't know that this was limited edition, so I might have to try to get another bottle before they're gone. Because I'll be disappointed if I don't. I feel like, unless this is terrible, which I doubt, because I liked The Quiet Man. It had a lot of good points to it. So let's give it a pour. It is darker. Not as dark in the glass though. I mean, the bottle is definitely relatively dark, but in the glass, considerably lighter. Interesting. So the bottle must be tinted a little bit, must be a little smoky. Smells like a nice Irish whiskey. I smell a little bit of wine sweetness kind of on top. Not as much the sourness, but a little bit of the sweetness. It's 86 proof, so it's stronger than the normal Quiet Man, which I believe is 80 proof. So it's a nice light golden brown color. It's got that thinness in appearance and viscosity that you get with Irish whiskeys a lot of the times. But let's give this a try and see how it goes. Whew. After a minute, it hits a bloom of heat right there in the chest. And it does have this blossom of um, a floral taste. Not quite like a gin or something like that. Not like a botanical per se. Almost like rose water. The blooms at the back. It does taste stronger than the initial Quiet Man, but it doesn't taste super different. I would have to compare them side by side, I think, to find more of a difference. But according to my somewhat sometimes scattered memory of such things, it doesn't taste too far off. But there is a definite floral and kind of now settling in fruit note, like a berry kind of fruit note, not so much like grape. So the wine cask, I think, is having a heavy influence. Um, there are a lot of things popping up. A little bit of peach kind of coming up at the end. So this is one of those ones that as you sit with it, multiple things kind of come out through your taste buds as different things are waking up and noticing flavors and different sensations. That's unrelated to the alcohol. I just had something in my little bit of dust there. It's not super strong as far as the alcohol goes. It does kind of like once it sits for a minute, you get that sudden like kind of punch in the chest feel almost of heat. It's a little disconcerting, but after that the flavors just start bursting. It is very interesting. Interesting in a good way, I think though. Sometimes I use interesting in a I'm not sure, I don't kind of like a way, but that's not that bad. Let's do a second taste to see how it comes out. Yeah, definitely some florals. Definitely like you get a lot of sensations from smelling. I don't know if it's a rose or a similar flower. And then as you sit with it and your taste buds kind of dance around a little bit, you get these bursts of different fruit flavors kind of pushing their way through. Some berries, um, some peaches, and it didn't hit so hard in the chest the second time around. So that's good because sometimes you get them and they just keep punching you, punching you with each one because the heat is just so much. There was a Balcones that did that. That was super. The taste was excellent, but man, it hit you over and over again. But this has started to settle a little bit more nicely. And then eventually at the end, you get a little bit of a taste reminiscent of Highland Scotch, of the kind of thing that you get from a Glenmorangie in the finish, which is almost like a dark chocolate kind of bittersweet kind of feel to it. But it's real subtle and doesn't hit you with the like. I don't feel like chocolate so much on top of the other flavors, but it's more like the barest sensation of it just at the very edge. Mm, but not bad. That is very interesting, and I do kind of like that. It is a bit sweet for me, which is something that a lot of Irish whiskeys tend to have. They tend to be a little bit sweet for my palate most of the time. But that is not bad. That is definitely one of those things you're going to want to go through slowly, not because it hits you really hard, but I think to appreciate the different flavors that come out, I think you almost have to just savor it a little bit because there are a lot of things popping. There's a lot of things popping when you first get that sip. Um, but yeah, that's the Quiet Man. I'm guessing it's going to be about between 40 and 50 if I remember correctly. I don't know why I didn't save the receipt. Usually I do, and apparently in this case I didn't. But yeah, between 40 and 50 ish at my local grocery stores here in Ohio, although it could potentially be a little bit more, but I don't remember spending a lot on this. I've been trying to avoid the stuff that's like 60 plus unless it's something that's really, really excellent. I'm kind of jonesing for it. But most of the time I stick with 30 and 40, and this was a bit outside of that, but it was something interesting that I wanted to try because I hadn't seen it before. And now I know it's because it's a limited edition. And it does say limited edition on the line there, limited edition series number 1. So that's interesting. That is interesting that it's series number 1 because it implies that they're going to do more experiments like this, which I like. I like them stepping out of the comfort zone. Once again, it's aged 10 years. Quiet Man, Barman's Code, single malt as opposed to blended, and it's finished in Marsala wine barrels. So, good stuff. I recommend it if you can get it, if you're a fan of Irish whiskey. I think you're going to enjoy the little journey that it kind of takes you on because I'm enjoying it right now. And it is something unique. And I'm going to have to get myself another bottle for the personal collection that I can kind of make sure I don't go through too quickly if it's a limited edition. Because I wouldn't want to go through all this and then not get a chance at another one. So, but there you go. A little bit of a slap dash kind of review there. Not as much information as I would usually like to give to you folks, but the next one should be better. I'll try to pay more attention to my receipts and whatnot. Until then, of course, as always, cheers.